Time for a conversation with Father Matt Frisbee. It's time for Sports Roundup. Good morning, Father Matt.
Hey, Father.
Good morning, Dave and Ron, and all our listeners. Good to be with you this morning. It's certainly, as a priest, parish priest particularly, so happy to celebrate this feast day of St. John Vianney, the patron saint of parish priests.
Yeah.
So asking for his intercession, certainly. Let's talk baseball. And I want to start, the trade deadline was yesterday, but before we get to that, I want to talk something a little more locally focused, which would be Central Catholic's own Jace Bowen plays for the San Diego Padres, and last week hit his first career major league home run.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that is awesome. So certainly just a great thing for him. Getting to the big leagues is difficult enough as is, and then hitting a homer up there even better. So certainly a great thing for Jace and his family. The Padres will be playing in Cleveland in about 2 weekends from now, beginning on August 14th. So they'll be coming to town. But speaking of baseball, yesterday was the trade deadline, and boy, were things busy, both in Detroit and in Cleveland and throughout all of Major League Baseball. The Guardians, the Indians, the Tribe, they were buyers. So they added really 4 pieces on their big league roster, adding Joe Adell from the Angels, who now has the most home runs on the Guardians. So that kind of tells you about the offensive woes for the Tribe this year. But they also added all-star pitcher Connor Griffin and Nathaniel Lowe, another offensive piece, and then Craig Yoho, a bullpen arm. And really with them adding Griffin, who's going to be a starter, allows them to move Slade Ciccone into the bullpen and kind of bolster up that bullpen. So, as a Cleveland fan, I do like what they did yesterday. Does it mean they're going to win a World Series? Probably not, but you never know.
You never know.
That's right. But it really shows that they're making a commitment to getting to the postseason this year and going deep into the postseason this year. So I certainly like it. The Tigers, on the other hand, they were sellers, and they traded away Casey Mize, their one starting pitcher, and of course the big talk of the town was trading Tarek Skubal, who traded to the Dodgers, and of course that got everyone upset. And I think a lot of people kind of feel like basically the Tigers got a bag of peanuts back from the Dodgers. Now, of course, Tigers fans are going to say differently, but they probably really could have commanded a much bigger haul, especially if they had not traded him on Saturday like they did, and if they had waited closer to the deadline. But Skubal had said he wanted to go to the Dodgers, and everyone hates the Dodgers now, and a lot of people are kind of actively rooting for a lockout next season because of the Dodgers.
Well, they certainly have had money to spend, that's for sure. They're loading up.
Yeah, that's right. I read something last week about the Dodgers where a lot of this goes back to when they had to go through bankruptcy court however many years ago, and they got a deal that no other team in Major League Baseball has, which allows them to stockpile money all the more. So, it's an interesting thing. So, but yeah, Tarek Skubal to the Dodgers. Everyone kind of looks at the Dodgers as, who they already have a glut of pitching, and now they just get, the Cy Young Award winner in the American League from the last 2 years had added to their team. So, just doesn't seem right.
Well, on to another sport, Father Matt. We've got the preseason predictions coming out. Many of them are showing Ohio State as the number one team in the country going into the season. I have to tell you, I've been following this team for a little bit. I would much prefer that we were ranked 16. I mean, we do much better when we are underestimated than when we are given the respect that actually we're due.
Well, that and look at the Ohio State schedule for this year, and it is a really tough schedule. There was all media days for all the conferences last week, and all the SEC schools were lamenting about having to go to a 9-game conference schedule and how hard it is playing all these SEC teams every week. I read something that said in the 15 years Texas A&M has played in the SEC, Georgia is still yet to go to Kyle Stadium, home of Texas A&M. So that's just a little tangent there. But, the Buckeyes are at Texas. They're at USC. They are playing, I don't know if they're at Illinois or not. They're at Indiana, home for Illinois, home for Oregon, home for Michigan. That's a tough schedule right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
if you look at the top 25, we're playing a bunch of top 10 teams 1 week after the next.
Yeah, that's right. And the thing, Ohio State on offense should be very good, and they return a lot of good defensive players. And Matt Patricia, did a really nice job with that defense last year. But the defense is going to have to replace 3 players that were drafted in the top 11: Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, and Arvell Reese. That's going to be a challenge to replace those players. And I think they'll still be very good, but they're going to have a challenging season.
And with a new offensive coordinator as well.
Right. Who I like the hire of Arthur Smith as their offensive coordinator. I think he'll bring something to run game, so that's something. Just talking training camp and football, we should talk Browns. Shedeur Sanders been looking pretty good so far, and certainly the receivers they drafted this year also really looking pretty good so far.
So maybe the chance of maybe next year will come to fruition. Maybe not.
I'm not going to get too excited there, but it could be better.
Yeah. That's promising anyway. So.
Absolutely.
We'd be remiss if we didn't mention the fact that ESPN Spelling Bee this week. Don't miss it. It's on the ESPN. It's a sport, apparently.
Dave, if they can spell Vacherez, they should be right there.
Yeah. Most of us can't even spell it.
Father Matt Frisbee, thank you so much for sharing your vast sports knowledge. Have a great day.